All right, everybody, good to be back. Good to be back. So what is going on? Well, the live account is no more. So I wanted to start over this year with something a little different. I kept thinking to myself all year last year, what would I do differently? If I could start over and give myself advice with what I know now, what would I do and how would I do this? So I wanted to do that. And one thing I wanted, I was actually going to wait till March to do this, but I reached out to Top Step and said, hey, I want to switch my live account over to Top Step X because I feel like that platform is just awesome. And they said, you can't. You have to start over. And I was like, well, I was planning on starting over anyway. So yeah, you have to close your live account, start with the Combine, choose Top Step X when you start with the Combine, and then that'll carry through with you all the way back to live. So I was like, all right, so that's what I'll do. So I closed my live account. So that thing's gone. And I'm starting over. So what would I do differently is the question. If I could go back and tell myself, hey, this is what you should do instead. But before I get into that, I just want to say this is not trading advice. This is purely just me talking to myself and letting you listen to the conversation. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving you any advice. There are no signals here. Trading is pure speculation. Past performance is no real evidence of future performance, although it's kind of all we got. It's all we have to go by, really, to look at what might happen in the future. But yeah, do your own thing. Don't copy other people in the markets. I think for me, the most important thing for me to be successful is to not follow anybody else. Do my own thing. Trading is personal. A lot of times breaking the rules is what works for me. The right way to trade is a trade that works for you. So, avoid the noise. All right. So new combine with Top Step. So the plan right now, here's the plan. If I were going to do this differently, if I was going to go back in time, the thing that I would do is I would definitely trade with Top Step. Looking at all the prop firms, I'm starting over. I could switch to a different prop firm. I looked at them. I thought about it. But Top Step is by far the best prop firm out there. So, and the reason is, the number one reason for it is there's no consistency rule other than when you're passing the combine, 50%. That's it. So no consistency rule. There's actually pretty much no rules. Just don't blow up your account. I mean, they have little things like, for gaming the system, stacking accounts and all this other stuff. You can't trade with a VPN. They have those kind of things. But when you look at being a regular trader, how would it be if I want to trade in the same type of environment as I would with Charles Schwab? What prop firm allows me to trade almost exactly the same as I do with my Charles Schwab account? And that is Top Step. I haven't found any other prop firms that are like Top Step. So there's some new rules with Top Step that I'm not too happy about, but is what it is. They got to protect themselves, and we'll get into that here a little bit later. The trading platform that I want to use is Top Step X. I think this is by far the best platform out there now that they've made all their updates and upgrades. And the biggest reason for it is these psychological controls. Yes, it's nice to have technical controls and all this stuff and be able to chart and everything, which you can do all that in Top Step. It's really easy to use. I love their risk-reward little tool and all the kind of stuff. It's great. But the psychological controls are so easy to manage with Top Step X that I've not seen that with anybody else, which you'll see when we set up the XFA. Pretty much throw them out the window for the Combine coming up. But for the XFA, we'll have those psychological controls in full effect. All right, account size. So I'm going to go with the 50K account. The biggest the last time through, I went with a 150K account, made it to the XFA, and then eventually turned that into a live account, traded that for almost a year, took some payouts, stuff like that. But now I'm going to go back and do it with a 50K. And the biggest reason, the thing that I learned the most, is what's the difference between these accounts? Contract size, that's one. But how often am I going to take 15 contracts? 15 contracts with the instruments that I'm trading, I would never be able to hold a trade. I'd blow out my account in seconds. So most of the time I'm going to be trading with just a few contracts and eventually maybe scale up to 4 or 5 contracts. But when you look at the long-term game here, the end goal is not to trade in a combine, right? This affects that. It's not to trade in the express funded account because they max you out at $50,000 in that, and you'll end up in a live account. The end goal is to get to the live account. And once you're in the live account with TopStep, as long as your trade profile, your trade card, your trade activity supports it, you can request different terms. I can say I don't want 5 contracts, I want 50 contracts. I don't want a max loss or daily loss limit of $1,000. I want it to be $10,000. So, and they can review my trade report, and if my trade report justifies it, then they can grant me that request. I'm making them money in the live account, so why not? And that's part of their deal at TopStep. So this only really matters in the Combine and the express funded account. Doesn't really count in the live account as far as I'm concerned. Yes, these are the rules I'll have to live by when I get there, but I believe that I will get those changed pretty quickly. So when it comes down to it, it's really about 2 things. The psychological part of it, of having to make $9,000, does that feel like a mountain? Whereas $3,000 feels like a little bump, easy to get to. They're really both the same, but psychologically, is there a difference? For me, yeah, $3,000 feels a lot less scary than $9,000. The next piece is this max loss limit. So on the 50K, it's $1,000 daily loss limit, but with trading with TopStep X, it doesn't matter. I don't have that. I can set my own loss limit. I can do whatever I want in the Combine. The express funded account, it's $1,000. I believe they enforce that. Doesn't matter to me because I'm on a scaling ladder, and I'll start with like $200 daily loss limit anyway, so it won't matter to me there. So the max loss limit is $2,000. So if I'm going to risk, say, the tickers I'm trading, if my smallest moves with a mini is going to be $500, then maybe I want the 150K account because I don't want to risk 25% of my account, with that starting. Eventually, there's a buffer. None of this will matter. It's really about the starting of the account. Do I want to risk 25% of it? Or is this, I'd be risking a much less percentage? Or am I okay in the micros, and can I manage that and just risk $100? That's where this really plays into. With my strategy, this go around, I'm just going to trade gold, and we'll talk about that in just a second. And looking at just trading gold with my strategy on the 1 minute candle, the average move, I'll start in the micro and quickly move into the mini, and this gives me plenty to be able to reach all my targets, get into the XFA, get into the live. So I only need this. The other thing this does, it's only $50 a month. So this allows me to say, you know what, I'm going to have a couple resets a week available to me based on my budget. With the 150K, too expensive for me to do that. So, and then I want to copy trade later on, so I'm going to have to get 4 more of these. Well, 4 more of these plus converting to the XFA, which costs $150 per conversion, this becomes really expensive. And what am I getting for that extra money? Nothing. I have a more difficult psychological barrier to get over, and the percentage-wise, my initial risk percentage doesn't really matter to me because I'm within my zone. So it doesn't buy me to anything to have these other accounts. So 50K it is. All right, that was a lot of words to explain that. I'm going with 50K. When I make my purchase, I need to click TopStep X as my platform of choice. I can use any of these other ones, but they'll carry me through to live, which I did last time with NinjaTrader, and I do like NinjaTrader a lot. I think it's the best simulator on the market, and I would definitely own NinjaTrader. I do own NinjaTrader. I bought it personally, and I have money in their brokerage because their sim trading is just second to none, I think, and replay and all that stuff. So anyway, so TopStep X is the platform going forward to trade with. If I was just going to sim trade, it would be NinjaTrader. All right, so Ultimate Trade. So this is a TopStep X platform is what I'm going forward with. 50K XFA on deck, ready to go. So what's some of the advice that I would give myself if I was going from the future classroom to the past classroom? The first one is just trade one ticker. One ticker, that's it. The second thing is avoid all the noise, and that's where one ticker comes into play also. Noise being, I'm not watching any other traders. Like I like to listen to TopStep in the background when I'm trading. I'm not doing that anymore because that can influence my feelings and my decisions, and I don't want to be influenced. I know my strategy is awesome, and I don't want to be influenced by anybody else. So A lot of times I'll be in a trade long and Top Step will get into their, on Top Step TV, they get short, same trade, same ticker. Then I start second guessing myself, like, am I doing the right thing? And then I end up with a winning trade and they end up with a losing trade almost every single time that happens. But it motivates me to want to like get out of my trade because I feel nervous that they are going against what I'm doing. Can't do that. I don't want that distraction. Second thing is distraction of charts. So a lot of times I'll have all the different indices like NASDAQ, S&P 500, Dow Jones, different things up on my thing just to kind of see what's going on in the markets in general. That noise has got to go because when I'm in one ticker and another ticker starts to rally, then I wonder if I'm short. I'm wondering if mine's going to turn around and rally to the upside as well. And then that plays some mental games there. So I don't want the distraction. One ticker, one chart, and that's it. So keep it simple. I really want to simplify all my trading. I do make a lot of mistakes, order entry mistakes, all these things. And I just don't want any of those distractions anymore. I just want to streamline everything. The next thing is I want my risk management to be set up to where what I'm risking in a day, I can make in a day. So if I have a red day today, tomorrow's green day will erase today's red day. So I want a strategy that's going to do that. The other thing is I don't want to overtrade. I only want to take a couple trades early in the morning, which allows me to then produce content and get that out to you all. So gold starts trading at 8:20. It's a normal trading hours. And with my strategy, trading gold at 8:20 works out great. It gives me time to get the little ones to school, get on the market, get done trading, and then produce content and still have my day. So advice from future self to past self is use the psychological controls in Top Step X, lock myself out for the day so I don't overtrade, and definitely use all those things to force me into trading a strategy that works. So here's the thing, just in case you haven't seen my past videos, I put together a new trade plan. The trade plan is the roadmap, the GPS. The strategy is the vehicle that can travel that roadmap and get me to that goal. So I just need to really manage those. So one of those things with managing that is being able to track my trades, and when things strategy-wise are starting to fall apart or mental fitness is starting to break down, having a trader rehab plan ready to go. So I know once it triggers, I can switch over to that. So I have to have that ready to go and lined up. My long-term goal for this year is to take as little of an investment as possible. That's the next advice to myself, is invest as little as possible to make the most amount of money. And I think I can do that. I think I could take around $200 and make $1 million this year. My budget for the first part of this is going to be $700. So I'd like to get it done in less than $600, but I have my budget for $700 to be able to be my total investment. But if I can get it done for $200, that's ideal. And the reason why I did that is because future advice to past self is when I'm in a combine, I'm going to have red days, right? Going to have red days, part of trading. And I'm going to have green days. Normally, I want to be able to grind myself out if I'm red on my combine because that builds character. And I think there's a psychological win when you can dig yourself out of an account that's about to blow and turn it around, which I've already done. You see me do that already. I've gone to trader rehab, rebuilt my account, came out, all good. I know I can do it. I've already got that confidence and that psychological win. So this go around, if I find myself red on my combine, I start the combine, I start the day off, and I close the day in the red. I don't care if it's $100 red. I'm going to reset that combine at the end of the day and start the next day fresh, because red days are part of trading and so are green days. And typically I don't have 2 red days in a row. So if I go down today, say $500, I go down, and then tomorrow I have a green day and make $500. Well, now I'm back flat. For what? For $50? So I'm going to reset that thing for $50. Another bonus of the 50K account, so that my red day is now zeroed out. So my green day is actually a green day. I'm up in the account now. I can start the account going the right direction. Now, if I have a red day, I'm back to break even. All good. Keep going. But as soon as I get in the red, I'm just resetting at the end of the day. And I'm going to give myself 2 resets a week is the deal. So with my budget, I should be able to pass my combine within the month, get into the XFA. That's the plan. And I'll give you more to that plan in just a second. So $200 ideally to 1 million, max 700 to 1 million. Again, one ticker, it's going to be gold. And I got to tell myself, no casino trading. Don't casino trade. A casino trade is any trade that I don't have a statistical proven probability of success, where I can look at the chart and say, this is my entry, that's my exit, that's my target, that's my stop. Know all that information before I get into the trade, basically framing it out. And then from there, figuring out how many contracts I need to buy to fit within my risk profile. So my risk management plan. Anything outside of that's a casino trade. Discretionary trading is casino trading because there's no proven statistical probability to go with that. It's more of, I think this is what's going to happen, right? So casino trading. The next thing is I don't trade for money. If I trade for money, I'm probably not going to have any. I have to trade to win, trade to be successful. Winning and success is defined by following my trade plan and my strategy. Whatever happens after that doesn't matter. I win if I do those things. Even if it's a red day, it's a winning day. Proper scaling. Man, I fail at this so much in my trading. So I really need to take the time to look at what my actual risk is before getting into a trade, so I know how many contracts to buy. Or maybe I need to skip it altogether. Am I going to trade in the mini or the micro? Proper scaling will give me that information so that I can then get the right contract size and grow my account properly. And scaling means scaling up and scaling down. So as I'm taking losses in my account, I need to scale down as well. Got my trader rehab plan on deck just in case. Removing temptations, one chart, one ticker, no noise in the background of other trading. I'll watch it later for entertainment when I'm done. While I'm cutting videos, I'll listen to what's going on. But that's it. Going to use the Top Step X psychological controls. They're fantastic. You'll see those again, like I said, once I get to the XFA. And I want to embrace, not change. So I want to embrace who I am, not try to change who I am. If I'm not a disciplined trader, and I keep telling myself I need to change, I need to become disciplined. Well, what if I just embrace who I am and say I'm not disciplined? So what am I going to do about it? How am I going to create a trade plan and a strategy that supports me not being disciplined? Well, one of those is using Top Step X's psychological controls, putting guardrails around myself so that when I want to overtrade because I'm not disciplined, I want to keep on trading all day long, even though I got my 2 winners, I want more, all that stuff. Instead of trying to say I'm going to change who I am, I'm just going to use Top Step X and tell it to shut me down around certain parameters to force me to do the right thing. This time around, I'm going to start taking regular payouts. I should have did that before. I didn't do that, and I regret it a bit. I didn't do it because a couple reasons. One is buying power. If I have 10,000 in my account, then I can risk 1,000 a trade. Whereas if I only have 5,000 in my account, now I'm doing 500 a trade. So I can make a lot more money with more money in my account. But the second reason was towards the end of the year, I didn't want to get hit with those taxes. I wanted to wait till the following year. But this go round, I'm going to start taking more regular payouts. Better for the psyche in trading. And again, I'm not going to dig out if I'm under in a combine. I'm just going to reset it. I got my tools, link in the description below if you want to get them for the My Strategy Manager and Builder, which I'm going to heavily rely on for building my trade plan, building my strategy, monitoring my strategy, as well as calculating my risk per trade. So link in the description there, and how I use all that stuff is in that link. The second part is tracking my trades. I'm going to use Trader View, link in the description as well. If you use that link, that helps my channel because it helps give me a little kickback if you end up using them. I've been using Trader View for a really long time, probably 7 years, 8 years. The new setup they have over there is really nice. Yes, Top Step X offers me trade tracking, calendar, all that different stuff. But when I leave Top Step, none of that information comes with me. So Trader View, then I have it. It's mine. I own it. And it doesn't matter what prop firm I trade with. It's all right there. The second thing is with Trader View, I have tools in there that I can look and see, is it my strategy failing or is it my trade plan failing? And that's super valuable that I don't get with Top Step X. So one thing, the difference between a prop firm and a broker, why not do this just with a broker? With a broker, with Ninja Trader, for example, their discount broker, my minimum I really would need in that account is $800 to trade one contract and have a little bit of room. Hope I don't have a loser out the gate, or I'd have to put like another $800 in there. If I go with Schwab, then I would need to have around $20,000 in there to be able to trade what I want with one contract. Whereas with Top Step, for $50, I can trade up to 5 contracts and easily hit all my profit targets. So from a leveraging standpoint, my money goes a lot farther with a prop firm. And at the same time, if I start to fail, I'd rather fail with $50 accounts than $800 to $1,000 accounts. So it makes a lot of sense to start with a prop firm and then convert later on to a broker if I choose. Step 1, pass my combine for the trade plan. And I'm going to do it as quickly as possible. Just want to get through it. I don't care. I'm going to risk 25% of my account. I'm just go 50% of my account. Just going to rip right through it. My strategy will allow me to do it. I'm with the idea that I can just reset if I have a red day to start. Once I get past the combine, I get into the XFA, I'm going to go ahead and add 4 more accounts. I'm not doing it right now because I want to prove to myself that I can pass the combine. Why am I going to spend all that money copy trading when I can't even pass one? So prove myself that I can pass one, get into my XFA, then I'm going to add 4 more accounts to copy trade and go from there. Then once I get my first payout in my XFA, which is part of my trading plan, I'm going to use that payout to convert those 4 combines to XFAs. I don't want to use my money to do that. Once I'm done with my initial investment, then that's all I want to put. To get those 4 more XFAs, that's going to be another $200. So again, keeping me under my $700 total investment. I could just start with my $200 investment, which is $50 for the combine and $150 to convert it to an XFA, get my first payout, then use that to buy 4 more combines, and then get another payout and then use that to convert those 4 combines into an XFA. But because I'm trading here on the channel, I don't want to take those additional 3 or 4 weeks to do that. And then I'm going to max out those XFAs. I hope that Top Step will allow me to max them out, which is $50,000 per. So I'll have 5 XFAs, $250,000. And then that would allow my live account to start with a really healthy balance. I'd love to start my live account with at least $100,000 in there. So then I can only risk 2% per day and still make $2,000 a day to start, which would be ideal. We'll see what happens. We'll see when they end up moving me to live. I really hope they wait. And that's it. We'll go live. And then once I'm in my live account, I'll request new terms so that I can then make more money per day. And we'll see if they feel it justified. If not, then I'll just have to keep on trading to prove myself. So once I get to my Express Funded account, I'm going to risk about 10% per trade of my account. So around $100 per trade is what I'm looking at. And I'd like to scale that down as quickly as I can to 1% per trade and still be making, $500 to $1,000 per trade or per day, per account. With 5 accounts, that's $5,000 a day. So pretty good. And then my max trade size, basically needs to be based on the move and what the risk is of that move. If it's a $5 move, that's a $500 risk. Do I want to take 5 contracts? Probably not right out of the gate. I'll blow my account. And then 150K account versus 50K account. Biggest reason is how much do I want to risk per percentage-wise based on the max loss of the account. And does it fit my strategy, my plan? Yes, it does. All right, so that's the new beginning for 2025 Markets My Way series. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, it would really help me out a lot. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can get monetized. Until then, I'm doing this for free, and I would really like to get paid by YouTube. So if you watch my videos, if you enjoy them, if I do a halfway good job subscribing, even if you hate my videos, if you just subscribe and just never watch them again, that works too. That would help my channel out a lot. So I really appreciate that. And again, links in the description to the trading tools that I use, the My Strategy Manager, which is a Microsoft Excel document. You have to have Microsoft Excel to use it, but it's got fantastic features, especially the trade calculator for calculating different futures trades. Really helpful, which you'll see me using in the Markets My Way series, and then TraderView for trade tracking. So if when you're not with that prop firm anymore, or if you have multiple prop firms, you can put it all in one spot and get to keep that data. So all right, everybody, see you on the next video.